Here we are at Indian Hills Studio. We move now on to the west side and Elder High Schools as we continue the coverage of the 2018 state championship. We're here talking today with head coach Jason Roush and state champion, 220-pound champion Antonio McCloud. And first I want to congratulate you, Antonio. We're sorry we didn't get the time to get the congratulations at the state finals when we usually do it. We had serious problems this year because of some restrictions imposed by the OHSAA. Anyway, we're going to get this done here. I want to start with Coach Roush. You've been now at Elder how many years?
This was my fifth season.
Your fifth season. And I know you took the team to the dual meet tournament a couple times, and you've had lots of state placers, and Elder has a remarkable tradition. This year you came home carrying the sixth place in the tournament trophy. And you also had another finalist. We had that happen twice this year, which is, I don't think it's ever happened that we've had two weight classes where we had both of the finalists, except one time, and that was in '94. But anyway, you had another finalist, Austin Murphy. Tell me just a little bit about Austin.
Yeah, Austin had a great senior year and really a great four-year career at Elder. He walked away this year as the all-time wins leader at Elder High School, passing Nick Spatola, who had a great career. Austin qualified for the state tournament all 4 years, placed sixth as a sophomore. Had a knee injury his junior year, tore his meniscus, tried to wrestle through it. He lost in the round of place in the state tournament, had surgery. Did all the right things to get his knee back to where it needed to be, and had a really good senior season. Lost a tough match with Jaden Maddox, who's going to Ohio State,
right.
6-4 in the finals. Austin had wrestled him about a month prior to that and pinned him in the first period. So we knew it was going to be a big match, and that Maddox would be out to, Maddox was a state champion as a sophomore.
Sure.
So had a great season, though. He's going on to Campbell University down in North Carolina, which is where Kerry Colott, a legend, is coaching now. So they're in the process of building what will be the largest wrestling facility in North Carolina for their practice facility. So excited for Austin. He's excited for what his future has as well.
That's great. What about the other guys that you took up there? You told us about two seniors. What do you got coming back?
Yeah, we had 8 qualifiers this year, which tied a school record. I believe Elder's qualified that twice before, and that's the most we've qualified. 4 of them walked away with hardware this year. 4 of them placed. Last year we had 5 place, so in the last 2 seasons we had 9 state placers. Sophomore William Depker at 106 pounds, he finished 8th in the state. And the other 3 placers were all seniors, in Austin Murphy, Antonio, and Alec Moore Nash, our heavyweight. Antonio's drill partner, placed for the second time, so he placed 7th as a junior, and then he placed 6th this year as a senior.
Okay.
So.
But Coach, you know things about him that the rest of us don't know. You got any inside story you might want to share with us about Antonio? I mean, you've made him now Superman. So is he a real guy?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's been real fun to coach him for 4 years. We've got to know each other quite a bit. I've had him in the classroom as well. I taught him in the math classroom, so I've got to know him in a lot of different areas and outside of school and athletics as well. And he's overcome a lot, which is why if anybody watched the state finals, those were tears of joy, but there's something else behind those tears. So it was exciting to see. He's had a lot of obstacles in his life, and for him to overcome them and get that type of moment on the biggest stage was as exciting as a coach, and it was a lot of fun.
Antonio, congratulations again. And did you ever wrestle in the state finals before?
No.
Did you wrestle in the past at the state tournament?
Yeah, I did.
And where did you place then?
I didn't place.
You didn't place. So you are one of these guys that shows up finally and takes the big banana, right?
Pretty much.
How'd you do that?
Honestly, it was just mostly mental. Like it was more mentally being tough and physically training as hard as I could. So it's mostly like what I trained my best on, as far as like getting to the finals and overcoming before the tournament, during the tournament, and throughout the tournament.
Well, you lost. I think it's 4 matches during the course of the season.
Yeah.
Did that weigh on you? What did you learn from those losses, if you did?
I did. I actually did learn a lot. I was talking to Coach Roush and Coach Schultz Jr., our assistant coach, and we were talking, and after I took those losses, they were like, maybe it's for the best that you took those losses, because last year I won every single tournament throughout the season and on the postseason too. I won sectionals and districts, and it was almost like my calling.
Yeah.
It was almost like my calling, because I had trained with Coach Mason, and they were like, it's almost like your destiny. You need to win a state title. Was like your destiny, and I'm like, true. True.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's good. I think though that a lot of people imagine that winning a state tournament is something that just happens, but I know very well that that's really not the case.
No.
How did you prepare yourself this year? What was different about? I know you said psychologically it's the pressure. Did you do anything else that was different?
I kind of had to like lose a little bit of weight, but at the same time I didn't have to. So it honestly just started with my diet and just eating the right stuff and eating a good amount and not going overboard like I did last year, because I didn't have to cut last year. Mm-hmm. So it was mostly with like my diet and just knowing and believing that I could do it.
What matches do you remember the best?
I remember losing to Cochran. After I lost to him, I wasn't mad. I wasn't angry. It was almost like a relief in a way. So Coach Roush, he was just like, you know what? After that match and that week at practice, we were wrestling and he was going over a little bit of technique. And after practice, he gave us a speech. He always does it, And he's just like, you know what? I'm happy that you lost that match. He told it to everybody. He was like, I'm happy you lost that match because you get to chase now. You're not the chasee. You're the chaser. Yeah. And I feel like that was something that it spoke to me, and it made me realize like you're not always going to be the chasee. You're going to have to be the chaser at some time. And I was last year for a second, but not like this year. Yeah. It was different. It was something that I knew I needed to do, and it's something that I had to do in order to gratify myself and not everybody else.
As a coach, there's a lot of times that you have that end of practice discussion with the guys. And a lot of times you see eyes roll, or maybe somebody fades on you a little bit, and you never know when those words are really going to come home and strike and really make a difference. So don't give up.
Like you said, I tell a lot of stories, but that day I still remember his face when I told him, told the whole team I was glad he's lost. I don't know that he understood it right away, but yeah. as it went down, I think he understood what I meant.
It's amazing how smart we get as we get older, isn't it? Yeah. Antonio, you fought your way to the finals to meet Cameron Sauerwein from Harrison. How many times over the course of this season, or over the course of 4 years, have you two met?
We've actually wrestled like 6 times.
And what's been the outcome of those?
Well, the first time I wrestled him, we were up in Delaware Hayes, and I had on the mask. It was for 5th and 6th. It was like the worst tournament I wrestled. It was like the worst tournament I've ever wrestled. And it was back when I was starting to understand and starting to actually get good. And he beat me in he beat me in Ultimate Rideout.
Oh.
Yeah, and we wrestled 7, more like 8 times, honestly. And the very next week, I beat him 2-1 in for state duels, state regional semis, and I beat him in the I beat him 2-1, and the match was not going my way. And then as soon as I took the mask off, I just I took him down. I wrote him out. It was really fun, and we've wrestled freestyle. We've wrestled just about, almost every single type of, match you can think of. And this year I've wrestled him. And the state finals is my 5th time wrestling him.
Okay. Having met the same guy so many times, what's your relationship with him?
Oh, it's good, actually. So I'm actually going to the mount, and he's going to the mount.
Cool.
And so the plan is for him to wrestle heavyweight and for me to wrestle 197.
Oh, okay.
And so our relationship is good. It's not awkward or anything, because he's always been the type of person that doesn't back down from a challenge, and he's always come at me with every single thing that he's had. And so I respect him for that, and I thank him for that, because it's honestly made me a better wrestler. And it's made me a better sport.
What about your future? What are you planning on doing now that you're leaving the hallowed halls of Elder?
I'm gonna go to the University of Mount St. Joe.
Okay, what are you majoring in?
Nursing.
Nursing.
Yes.
Cool. Now that you're a state champion, you've joined the ranks of the chosen few, I guess, in a way, at Elder. You've become part of the Elder mystique. Do you think that there's a new responsibility that gets laid on your shoulders that you hadn't thought of before?
In a way, yes and no. It's almost like I have to be more responsible. I have to be more conscious of what I do, and it's more of a responsibility to be a role model.
Okay.
Be more of a role model for the younger guys, for the younger kids, because they don't want to see a state champion moping around all angry and stuff like that. They don't want to see that. They want to see somebody who's always smiling and always want to help out and always want to just be themselves.
Yeah. You don't get there on your own. And I know the coaches bring a tremendous amount of expertise to the job they do in preparing you. But there's an awful lot of other guys, I'm sure, that played a role in your success this year. You want to give them a shout out?
Oh yeah. Shout out to I don't know how to say this. I would like to thank Coach Mason, Coach Elliott, Coach Roush, Coach Schultz, Coach Schultz Jr., Coach Massminster, Coach Oberjohn, Coach Coach Sewer. Did I say Coach Sewer? No. Coach Sewer, Coach Kurzals, Coach Lamberses, Coach Elliott, Coach Muhammad, Coach
He's going to list every coach he can think of.
I was going to say, do you have anybody on the team other than coaches? That's pretty remarkable.
Some of these guys he's listing are guys that coached him in the off season.
Okay. Is there any one thing that you think you can tell the younger guys that are coming on that will give them the greatest chance to achieve success?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
It would be a sponge, soak up every single thing that a coach or another figure that's important to you, and to stay positive and to be yourself through good and bad times.
Your question was to, more towards how do you get them to buy into the things that we're selling, but I think Elder High School as a community does a great job. These guys are in community service classes. They're out in the community helping others, and it's a big part of who Elder is community, and I think the students who choose to buy into it and be a part of what Elder's doing, by the time that their 4 years are up, if they've bought into it, they understand those are the important things. Whether or not he won a state title, that's a prize at the end of it. But who he walks away as an athlete is 100 times more important. And so we couldn't be more proud of him and a lot of our guys for buying into that.
So that about completes our look at the 220-pound Division I tournament. Congratulations to Antonio McCloud and to Jason Roush and the whole Panther team. I'm Dave Bean for Waycross Community Media, thanking especially Denny Dupps and Indian Hill TV News for providing the facilities and the recording of this interview. So long for now, and let's go to work and make the 2019 state tournament even better than this one.